Recently, Ukraine deployed elite troops on the southern front. 82nd Air Assault Brigade. The brigade is equipped with British Challenger 2 tanks, American Stryker infantry fighting vehicle, and the German Weasel infantry fighting vehicle, one of Ukraine's elite troops. The unit was involved in southern Ukraine military operations in the Robotny region. The 82nd Air Assault Brigade was deployed in Ukraine in March this year. One of the newly formed troops. Some of its combatants actually come from formerly 25th Air Assault Brigade and veterans of the 80th Air Assault Brigade. The entire combat force received full training in the UK. The main equipment is 14 British Challenger 2 tanks, 90 American Stryker infantry fighting vehicles, 40 German Weasel infantry fighting vehicles, and 24 M119 self-propelled guns. It is worth noting that the brigade is equipped with only 14 tanks. Only enough for one tank company. This is because of the organization of Ukraine's Air Assault Brigade. Just equip a tank company, 3 mechanized infantry battalions, and 1 motorized infantry battalion. And Ukraine's mechanized infantry brigade. Equip a complete tank battalion. About 30 to 40 tanks. This is because the Air Assault Brigade, Ukraine's light rapid reaction force. Its main task is to open the gap. Rapidly advance in depth. This is why at the beginning of the campaign, what Ukraine invested was not the 82nd Air Assault Brigade, but the 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade, 82nd Air Assault Brigade and 46th Air Assault Brigade. It is a group reserved by the Ukrainian General Staff Headquarters, one of the reserve forces Ukraine had pinned its hopes on. After the frontline troops opened a gap. Quickly deploy elite rapid assault troops. Advance quickly to reach Tokmak, even near Melitopol. So for Ukraine right now, breaking through the Russian frontline positions as quickly as possible is the top priority. And now the burden of such a task. It falls on the 82nd Air Assault Brigade. In recent times, Ukraine on the ground already advanced to the north and east of the village of Robotyn. The main force of the operation is the 82nd Air Assault Brigade. At the beginning of the Ukrainian counteroffensive, we saw Leopard 2 tanks on the battlefield and Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. These weapons and equipment all are equipped by the 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade. And over the past 2 days, we sent back video from the front line. Saw the British Challenger 2 tank, American Stryker infantry fighting vehicle. These weapons and equipment are all equipped by the 82nd Brigade. We are seeing this video now on August 15th. Published online by the Russian military. Russian soldiers use a suicide drone remotely. Track and attack a moving Stryker infantry fighting vehicle. And almost at the same time, Ukrainian soldiers on the front line also appeared online. Videos and photos of driving a Challenger 2 tank. On August 19th, Ukrainian soldiers appeared on the internet again. Picture of driving a German Weasel tank. Well, this is the first time on the battlefield. American Stryker appears. German Weasel and British Challenger 2 tanks. The Stryker infantry fighting vehicle is the 21st century 8-wheeled armored vehicle developed by the United States. The main purpose is to ensure that there is, on the basis of certain protection, emphasis on greater mobility. Because it's a wheeled armored vehicle, Stryker's top speed can reach 100 km per hour. Even off-road, it can reach 60 km per hour. In addition to being fast, another characteristic of Stryker is that it is light. The basic model weighs only 16 tons. AC-17 transport aircraft. Can transport 4 Stryker tanks. In times of war, within 96 hours. Reach any corner of the world. Stryker infantry fighting vehicle carries 11 people. Includes 2 vehicle crew members and 9 infantrymen. Stryker has different models due to different weapons. It is completely modular in design. It can carry a 105 mm tank gun. Its autoloader has 9 rounds. At the same time, there are 9 rounds of ammunition in the compartment, totaling 18 rounds. The rate of fire of this type of artillery can reach 6 rounds per minute. Can pour out terrifying firepower in a short period of time. The Stryker can also carry a 120 mm mortar. Or the 30 mm 44 Malawian Quachars chain gun. Currently, the world has produced nearly 5,000 Stryker infantry fighting vehicles. 4,500 of them are in service with the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army even spawned Stryker-based combat units. It's called the Stryker Combat Brigade. An important hallmark of the brigade is the ability to react quickly. The entire brigade's combat personnel used HUMs and Strykers as a mobile vehicle. You can join the battle directly, as soon as you get off the plane. Its characteristics can be summarized in 3 nouns. It's called quick arrival, quick deployment, quick combat. Stryker's biggest shortcoming is its lack of armor protection. Its armor can only protect against 14.5 mm bullets. There is no problem in adapting to low-intensity combat. Besides that, 82nd Air Assault Brigade. Also equipped with the German Weasel infantry fighting vehicle. Weasel began in the 1960s. A main infantry fighting vehicle equipped by West Germany. The main weapon is a 20 mm cannon. And 5 Milan anti-tank missiles. Currently being replaced in Germany by the Puma infantry fighting vehicle. The main heavy weapon of the 82nd Air Assault Brigade. It is the Challenger 2 tank provided by the United Kingdom. Challenger 2 tank is a British company Vickers. The third-generation main combat vehicle developed. From a dynamic point of view, it uses 1,200 HP diesel engine and the turbine engine equipped with the American M1, compared with the MTU diesel engine of the German Leopard 2. Slightly lacking in horsepower. But it doesn't matter. Challenger 2 has 2 major advantages. One is armor and the other is artillery. Challenger 2 uses Chobham composite armor. Since the successful development of the British in the mid-1970s, it has been kept as the highest confidentiality. Chobham armor is said to be capable of defending against armor-piercing projectiles 3 times that of the original homogeneous armor. Chobham armor. It is a composite armor with multiple structures, composed of high-quality alloy steel armor and ceramic armor. As for the specific composition structure and processing technology, always top secret. In March 2003, British 7th Armoured Brigade in Basra area encountered the largest tank battle in the Iraq War. Iraq has invested nearly 100 T-55 tanks. The UK has only a few dozen Challenger 2 tanks, although at a disadvantage in terms of military strength. But the British Challenger 2 tank performed well. In the end, more than 70 Iraqi tanks were destroyed. In combat, a Challenger 2 tank was attacked by 8 anti-tank missiles. But because the Chobham armor performed so well, only the viewing lens was damaged, but the crew members were unharmed. The British Army once claimed, Challenger 2 tanks have never been destroyed by enemy forces, whether in Iraq or Afghanistan. Challenger 2 tank was once accidentally shot by the Americans. But it is true that it has never been destroyed by the enemy. The gun of the Challenger 2 tank uses L-30A1 120mm rifled gun 55 caliber. At present, most of the main battle tanks in the world all used smoothbore cannons. Only the British Challenger 2 uses a rifled gun. The muzzle velocity of rifled gun shells is greatly limited. However, the accuracy has been improved to some extent. In order to make up for the lack of muzzle velocity of the artillery shell, Challenger 2 uses depleted uranium armor-piercing projectiles. At the same time, in actual combat in the world record holder for the furthest penetration of an enemy tank during the Gulf War on February 26, 1991. A British Challenger 2 tank, at a distance of 4,700 meters, hit an Iraqi T-55 tank. It can be said that 100 steps can lead to success. The accuracy is very good. This time the UK is sending messages to Ukraine while providing Challenger 2 tanks. Depleted uranium armor-piercing projectiles were also provided for the first time. In the near future, we may see it again on the battlefield. The power of depleted uranium armor-piercing projectiles. The 82nd Air Assault Brigade is well equipped. But can we change the situation as soon as we enter the battlefield? I am more cautious. The 82nd Air Assault Brigade was established in March this year. Although led by some experienced veterans, mixed with new recruits. But after all, there is a lack of overall practical experience. Previous 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade encountering difficulties is a clear proof. The brigade is currently engaged in fierce fighting in the Robodny area. The fierce conflict of the battle is far beyond our imagination. Ukraine currently has at least 4 brigades deployed on the front as an assault force. They are the 47th Brigade and the 65th Brigade, 82nd Air Assault Brigade and 118th Air Assault Brigade. And at the same time, Russia has moved almost all of its reserve forces in the region. They all threw themselves into the battlefield. The war has entered a fierce battle. And in the other direction, the valley south of Veliko Novosilka, Ukraine continues to advance south. Ukraine's current advancement does not care about speed. Instead, they first attacked the Russian positions with heavy artillery fire. Weaken Russia's ability to resist. Then look for weak points and move forward. Ukraine's main goals at the moment. It's Staromnivka, south of Veliko Novosilka. Russia's defense line is relatively sparse. The main line of defense is around Staromnivka. Russia's defense focus on Tokmak. Deploy at least 3 layers of tight defense lines in this direction. If Ukraine can successfully win Staromnivka, it means opening a gap in Russia's defense line. This area is bound to be a period of time in the future. The focus of competition between Russia and Ukraine in the direction of Zaporizhia. Ukraine has also recently opened up a third direction of attack. It's located between Veliko Novosilka and Tukomak, a city like Polonii. Ukraine is currently along the T-0401 highway. Advance from west to south. At the same time, another part of the army proceed eastward from Kuban along the T-0815 highway, trying to look at it from the north and west, attacking the city of Polonii from both sides. Ukraine is currently on all sides of the Zaporozhye front. They all stepped up their offensive efforts. I sincerely hope that the Ukrainian army able to achieve early breakthroughs on the front line. End this war as soon as possible. I am a wealth accumulation channel. See you in the next episode.